Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be talking about a couple big pieces of 100 Thieves news and maybe some of the implications and kind of fallout and all the different things going on regarding these pieces of 100 Thieves news. So we're going to start here, obviously with just the fact that 100 Thieves has a lot of different things going on. 100 Thieves announced that they were going to be moving on from their head coach. They're going to be making some changes. We also know that Bjergsen is on his way out as well, so they're going to be looking for a mid laner, and the first of these replacements is going to be right here. You can see on the screen from Wooloo. Sources, former Kwangdong, I don't know how you say this, Kwangdong Freaks head coach Kayn will be the new head coach of 100 Thieves next split in the LCS. He previously coached in NA back in 2017 with Cloud9. He also coached more recently than that with Team Liquid during like the double lift era of Team Liquid. 100 Thieves is also looking at mid laners from South Korea in order to replace Bjergsen. Wooloo then follows up and says, worth noting that Kayn also earned 4 LCS titles with Team Liquid. He's also reuniting with Doublelift. So Wooloo, kind of dropped the ball in this tweet a little bit, saying, he previously coached with Cloud9, and oh yeah, he also won 4 titles with Team Liquid. Like, yeah, the 4 titles he won with Team Liquid and a stint as actually, I believe, the head coach with Team Liquid might be a little bit more important to throw out there than the time he spent, I believe, as the bot lane coach or AD carry coach or whatever with Cloud9 in 2017. So that was kind of weird there, but hey, Wooloo, he's taking a little bit of a break. He's had some time off. He's still getting back into the swing of things. We have to forgive him there. But yeah, Kayn, I think, is a pretty respected name, respected head coach in the LCS for sure. Like we said, 4 titles with Team Liquid, so he definitely at least won a lot. Yes, he had some loaded Team Liquid teams, but we've seen some loaded teams not have so much success, not win titles. I know there was some, obviously, some different criticisms and stuff towards the end of his time with Team Liquid. Some people thought, Team Liquid needed a new voice or new leadership or new coaching, whatever. Some people think Kayn's great. Some people think he's okay, was carried by his team. Some people think he's bad, and it was just all thanks to his teams. Who knows? But I do think that largely Kayn has a good reputation in the LCS, and I think people think he will be an upgrade overall, and I think he probably will do a pretty good job. I think this is an exciting hire, but of course he's also a Korean name that is going to be able to mesh with different Korean speaking players and players directly from Korea, which is obviously where Wooloo says they are going to be looking at in the mid lane to be replacing Bjergsen. This leads us to the next tweet. This is from Alejandro Gomis saying, sources, Quid has reached a verbal agreement with 100 Thieves. A Korean mid laner from Gen G has been one of the players who received the most interest this LCS offseason. Now, we have seen, also, this is a hilarious meme from Tenacity as the first comment, get ready to learn American, buddy, as Quid is going to be headed to NA, it does seem like. Now, this is obviously a move in line with a lot of other moves recently, where teams are going after some of these young and exciting Korean players, starting to bring them over for cheaper and cheaper, and also starting to bring them over younger and younger. Guys like Vikla, guys like Berserker, some of these other names who have been coming over. I know in the LEC, I'm not exactly sure how old guys like Photon and stuff like that are, but some of these names that are not these Korean pros who've already won a ton of titles and done all this playing at the competitive scene. These are guys coming up, more from the amateur scene, from the academy scene, stuff like that, which is where Quid has been for a while now with Gen G Academy, obviously most recently getting to learn behind Chovy, but being in the Korean academy scene, being one of the most hyped up prospects. I want to say he's 18 years old. I think he's like 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there, and I know he is a player that a lot of people are very, very excited about. We do have Reddit kind of chiming in on a lot of these things as well, saying, hey, the tweet from Alejandro, this guy says he remembers that one game versus T1 where Doran, Peanut, and Lehens got sick, so he went mid while Chovy went top Tryndamere. So this guy actually has played in the LCK at least one opportunity. This is funny. Definitely looks like it should be a good pickup for 100 Thieves. Also, his alias is literally going to be 100 Quid, which is funny, saying it's probably going to be his salary too, which is just 100 Quid or 0 Quid is going to be the big meme here. Quid is 18. Actually, pretty insane how young this 100 Thieves roster is. Also with Grandpa Doublelift. So here we have Busio at 18, Quid at 18, Tenacity at 20. Not entirely sure if they're going to be sticking with Tenacity into the summer split and into 2024. There are some rumors going around there that 100 Thieves could still potentially be looking at some other top laners there, but who knows? If they do go with Tenacity, they have 2 18-year-olds, a 20-year-old, a 24-year-old, and then Doublelift is going to be 30. But yes, lots of young, exciting talent on this team. Again, a Korean-speaking Quid to pair up with a Korean-speaking coach. It could also show signs of 100 Thieves potentially looking to go with more Korean-speaking players in the future, especially if the LCS decides to increase the import limit up to 3 imports in 2024, which looks like it could be the case. Not just the LCS, but all over the place. But I did think that this Reddit thread was very, very interesting to go on top of everything else. Given the import rule changes, it's wild that the ability to speak Korean might be one of the most important criteria for LCS teams when selecting players, which is a little bit crazy, a little bit absurd, maybe even because, hey, the LCS is supposed to be the language, or not the language, but the league of the Americas, of the NA players, of the American, Canadian, all these different NA places, and Australia, for whatever reason, supposed to be their league. And yes, we are seeing guys like Berserker, Eminus, how they say on here, Prince, Chassis, and Photon in the LEC. I know I talked about Vikla a little bit too. These guys coming over, maybe Vikla not being as successful as some of those other names, but the LCS is investing more and more heavily into Korean up-and-coming talent. So right now, hey, you still need 2 NA players, thus NA residents that speak Korean have crazy high value because they slot right into a team with the Korean language, Korean culture. Also, a lot of teams are having Korean coaching staffs now. So Someday, Impact, Winsome, Core JJ, these guys are most important to watch coming into the offseason. I know there were some comments here with Rich and Quid coming in to replace Bjergsen and Arma in the summer split. The LCS is going to be 34% Korean, and that's with this 2 import rule in place. Things are really going to get wild in 2024. And this guy, which is also a very, very fair criticism with the next highest comment, or unwatchable. Hard to get interested as an NA fan when the league is not targeted at the NA market. Watching the Travis Quiz content and realizing how separated from Season 8 and older NA LCS we are is sad. And I think that is a very, very fair criticism. If the LCS just continues to become the LCK2, but maybe not even the LCK2, because LCK Academy is probably LCK2, NA is really at a risk of becoming maybe even LCK3 at some point. Yes, they are going to be a place where some of these talents can get development and maybe even end up being better than some of the Academy counterparts who are just stuck in Academy and stuff. But as the league becomes less and less English speaking, as it becomes less and less North American, I do think, and I have thought for a while now, there is some risk of fans becoming less and less interested. Now, who knows? We're going to have to wait and see, but I do think it is a very, very interesting point that, yes, just being able to speak Korean is going to become maybe a necessity even at some points in the future, because, when there is still a lot of English speaking going on, we can say, hey, these new players are going to come over, they're going to learn English, it's all going to be good, but once your league becomes 30, 40, 50, 60% Korean, who knows what the heck's going to happen in the future. And even the players who aren't Korean, but they're Korean speaking, that's also going to, play into the fact that, hey, these guys, they might not need to learn English as much. It might not be as much of a necessity, which is going to impact things like media, like interaction with fans, like, advertising, stuff like that. Who knows how it's all going to go, but right now these Korean players, especially these up-and-coming Korean players, are ways to get premium-level talent, most likely not at premium prices a lot of the times. And 100 Thieves, really diving deep into this with Quid in the mid lane. Now, as far as just on the Rift stuff, this guy seems like an exciting player. He seems like he's going to be fun. He seems like he's going to be interesting. He seems like he's going to be fun to watch. Again, an 18-year-old with a ton of talent, a ton of potential coming in. That's always going to be exciting. This guy could be, one of the best players in the league. Could be, a potential Berserker level talent over the next year or two for 100 Thieves, which would be good, which would be exciting, which would get fans hyped up. But yes, a lot of fans are talking about, the fact that the thing that made them fall in love with the LCS all those years ago is slowly kind of fading out of the league as well, which I don't think should be taken lightly. But we'll have to see how this one works out. This 100 Thieves new mid laner, 100 Thieves new coach, making a lot of moves, a lot of exciting splashes, and we'll have to see maybe if there's even some more changes for 100 Thieves to be made still yet to come. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.